5 brands Jungkook refused to work with, even for insane money. 5. Lack of creative control in branding strategy. One of the main reasons Jungkook has reportedly refused certain brand offers, regardless of the financial appeal, is due to a lack of creative control. Jungkook has been consistently selective about collaborations, particularly those involving commercial campaigns. For him, authenticity and artistic vision appear to take precedence over profit. Several global brands, including fast fashion leaders and luxury conglomerates, have made aggressive attempts to recruit Jungkook as their ambassador. According to industry insiders, these offers have included multi-million-dollar contracts. However, what made these deals fall apart was the limited or non-existent room for Jungkook to participate creatively in the direction of the campaigns. These brands expected him to act solely as a promotional tool, rather than a collaborative partner. In contrast, Jungkook's work with Calvin Klein demonstrates the level of integration he expects. Reports suggest that he was involved in concept discussions, styling direction, and even the tone of visual materials. This active involvement has led to campaigns that reflect not only the brand's aesthetics, but also Jungkook's personal identity. Such a model of collaboration ensures consistency with his public image and strengthens his long-term brand equity. Jungkook's refusal to participate in rigid, non-collaborative branding is a strategic decision. In today's media landscape, passive endorsements often come off as disingenuous, especially to younger demographics who prioritize authenticity. Jungkook seems aware of this and is therefore unwilling to lend his likeness to campaigns where he cannot shape the message. Therefore, creative input isn't optional, it's a non-negotiable requirement. His rejection of offers lacking this element reveals a deeper understanding of sustainable brand alignment. While many celebrities accept deals purely based on monetary value, Jungkook opts for long-term credibility and meaningful partnerships, regardless of the amount offered. 4. Misalignment with personal and public image. Another consistent factor in Jungkook's rejection of brand deals is misalignment with his public image and personal values. Branding experts recognize Jungkook as a unique celebrity who manages to maintain a balance between mainstream appeal and individual identity. As a result, he has cultivated a distinctive image: clean, minimalistic, performance-focused, and fashion-forward without being overindulgent. Some brands that approached Jungkook reportedly failed to grasp this nuance. Proposals centered around overly flashy aesthetics, controversial reputations, or exploitative marketing tactics were dismissed early in discussions. These brands often aim to use Jungkook's global reach to rebrand themselves or distract from public controversies. However, aligning with such companies could have diluted or contradicted his carefully built public persona. For example, Jungkook has never promoted alcohol, gambling, or products with controversial social impacts. Even when such industries made significant monetary offers, often exceeding typical endorsement standards, his team rejected them. It is widely known in the industry that Jungkook's brand operates with long-term strategic considerations. Associating with a misaligned product could yield short-term gains but potentially lead to long-term brand erosion. Moreover, Jungkook's fanbase, which spans various cultural and age demographics, expects a certain level of integrity and consistency. Deviating from that expectation would not only risk alienating his supporters, but also create dissonance across future brand collaborations. As a result, his rejection of brands that conflict with his identity is both a protective and strategic measure. Ultimately, brand partnerships must function as an extension of Jungkook's values, style, and image. Brands seeking to capitalize on his popularity without aligning to these standards are excluded, regardless of the compensation involved. It's a signal that relevance and resonance hold more weight than raw revenue. 3. Overexposure and brand saturation concerns. Another calculated reason Jungkook avoids certain brand deals, even highly paid ones, is his concern over overexposure. In today's saturated media landscape, where celebrities endorse multiple brands simultaneously, credibility often erodes when endorsements appear indiscriminate. Jungkook's team recognizes this risk and has adopted a highly curated approach to brand visibility. Being the global face of too many unrelated brands can dilute messaging and confuse audience perception. Jungkook appears intent on avoiding this trap. His strategy mirrors that of luxury fashion houses: exclusive, minimal, and highly controlled brand alignment. By declining offers from even prestigious brands that compete with existing or future partnerships, Jungkook maintains clarity and coherence in his public identity. For instance, if Jungkook is tied to a premium fashion brand, accepting a similar offer from a competing label could send mixed signals. This type of brand saturation can lead to reduced perceived value, both for him and for the associated companies. Even when these brands offered premium fees, reportedly higher than industry averages, he opted for exclusivity. Furthermore, Jungkook's global appeal means that any association he makes will receive intense media and fan attention. This amplifies the impact of each brand decision. Therefore, each endorsement must serve a broader, long-term purpose, not just short-term exposure. Accepting every offer would contradict the minimalism and intentionality that define his image, and refusing brands that could contribute to overexposure or internal brand competition. Jungkook is essentially protecting his position as a premium figure in both the music and commercial spaces. His choices are less about what he could promote and more about why a particular brand deserves to be associated with his name. This rare restraint, especially in an industry driven by profit, reflects a high degree of strategic branding. It allows Jungkook to remain a high-impact figure whose endorsement carries weight precisely because it is infrequent and carefully chosen. 2. Ethical concerns and corporate practices. Ethical considerations have also played a key role in Jungkook's decision to reject certain brand collaborations. In a market increasingly conscious of labor ethics, environmental impact, and corporate transparency, celebrities are under more scrutiny than ever. Jungkook appears to be ahead of this curve. Sources familiar with endorsement negotiations report that his team conducts background checks on the corporate practices of potential partners. Companies involved in labor violations, unsustainable manufacturing, or culturally insensitive marketing have all been denied access to collaborations. Even when these companies offered substantial payment, Jungkook's camp declined based on ethical discrepancies. This isn't just about public perception. Jungkook has shown, through his career choices, that he values integrity and long-term trust. Associating with brands that have a record of controversy or questionable ethics could threaten that trust. He is especially cautious with global brands whose supply chains involve outsourcing or unethical labor practices in developing countries. Additionally, Jungkook is aware of the power he holds in influencing consumer behavior, particularly among younger fans. He seems unwilling to promote products that may contribute to environmental degradation, health risks, or social exploitation. This has led to the rejection of fast fashion brands with poor sustainability ratings, as well as food or beverage companies involved in misleading health claims. Ethical branding is not just a PR maneuver in his case. It functions as a framework that guides long-term partnership decisions. Brands that fail to meet this ethical threshold are rejected regardless of their market size, legacy, or budget. This standard helps protect not only Jungkook's personal image, but also the credibility of the companies he does choose to work with. When he endorses a brand, the message is clear. This company has passed a rigorous ethical and creative filter. That clarity is difficult to replicate through any paid promotion alone. 1. Lack of global vision and cultural awareness. Jungkook's refusal to work with some brands also stems from their limited global vision and poor cultural adaptability. As a South Korean artist with an international audience, Jungkook understands the importance of working with brands that respect diverse cultures and operate with global sensitivity. Certain regional or legacy brands, though popular in specific markets, have approached Jungkook with campaigns lacking international depth. These proposals often failed to consider cross-cultural reception, language nuances, or aesthetic expectations in regions outside their home base. In some cases, brand representatives reportedly showed little understanding of Jungkook's global influence, focusing instead on narrow market targeting. Such approaches do not align with Jungkook's trajectory as a global artist. His endorsement value lies not only in his presence in South Korea, but also in his reach across Asia, North America, Europe, and Latin America. Brands that lack the infrastructure, scale, or cultural insight to engage those audiences meaningfully are often disqualified from collaboration. In addition, some companies proposed marketing campaigns that leaned on outdated stereotypes about Korean culture or K-pop, failing to approach Jungkook with the respect or relevance that his status demands. These brands sought visibility without doing the groundwork necessary to bridge cultural differences. Jungkook's refusal to engage with them sends a clear message that global artists deserve globally competent brand partners. His partnerships, such as the one with Calvin Klein, are executed with an international audience in mind. Visuals, messaging, and even digital marketing rollouts are localized, multilingual, and inclusive. This global approach enhances not only the brand's reach, but also Jungkook's credibility as a transnational figure. Rejecting brands that don't meet these standards. Jungkook reinforces his own value as a cross-border ambassador of culture, music, and style. His choices reflect not only individual brand alignment, but also the demand for a global mindset in modern brand partnerships.